Oh, Vincent, I found you. Vincent. Vincent. Okay, this isn't funny. I announce myself, and you're supposed to appear. That's how this works. Ugh, where could he be? Hey, a note. Dear Mr. Mucus Man, ha ha ha, we got out of here. You can't find us because we went somewhere else. You'll never find us. You're just a stupid, pathetic, useless, worthless, dumb shadow monster. And P.S. You suck. P.P.S. If you find my magazines, please tell me. You know what, Vincent? I'll find you, all right. I'll find you if I have to tear this entire planet to its core. So, wherever you are, wherever you're hiding, get comfortable, because I will find you. I don't know where you are, but I will. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Monsters of the Mind. As always, I'm your host, Mr.G. You know, last time when Vincent said we'd need more fortification, I honestly thought I would have to build better defense mechanisms. Instead, he took us to this place that looks like it's made out of gold, which is, I guess, even better. I can't exactly say where we are, but there's a lot of cool stuff here. Everyone else is just really entranced with it. Wow, I've never heard of any of these movies. And Eric is so bitter that his one good idea wouldn't have worked out that he's trying to redeem himself. Currently, he's looking for a bunch of weapons he could possibly use to defeat a shadow monster, but he's having no such luck. Oh, a giant key, so scary. Yeah, maybe I can lock him in a giant door with a giant lock. As if. Anyway, enough of the introductions. Let's just get into today's monster. Today, we're talking about the arachnid men of Mesopotamian folklore. And they are the Scorpion Men. Scorpion Man means scorpion man, and they were a technical species since there were only like a few of them, so I guess they were a species, but oh, whatever. Anyway, they were pretty malevolent. They guarded the gates of Mount Mashu, and they come from Mesopotamian mythology. Scorpion men looked kinda like centaurs, but instead of having horse bodies, they had scorpion bodies. These guys were said to be incredibly dangerous. Not only did their scorpion half possess venom lethal enough to kill grown men in mere seconds, but they were also described as being deadly accurate archers, capable of always hitting their target in a fatal area. The Scorpion Men were the offspring of the ocean goddess Tiamat. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. Who gave birth to them after her husband was killed and her daughter was enslaved. Their sole purpose was to wage war on the younger deities as a form of revenge. And they did just that. They started slaughtering the young gods. They probably would have committed a god of war until the creator deity Marduk intervened and tossed them into the underworld. Kind of anticlimactic, but whatever. Later on, during the Epic of Gilgamesh, another pair of scorpion men were described as being the guardians of Mount Mashu, and Gilgamesh had to answer questions in order to prove that he was worthy of entering. Side note, I'm not sure if these are supposed to be the same two scorpion men, but they just got reformed, or if the writers just like the scorpion man aesthetic. Well, besides that, the scorpion men haven't really appeared in any other myths, so that's all for them. But I do want to take this moment to talk about other mythical arachnids. You see, arachnids, especially spiders, have long since captivated the human mind. What is it about them that makes them so intriguing? Who knows? Maybe it's the fact that they build their own traps. Maybe it's the fact that their silk is harder than steel. Whatever the reason is, spiders have captivated humans ever since we were banging rocks together. And even today, we find a certain fascination in spiders. Why do you think one of the most popular superheroes is spider-themed, after all? So, let's take a look at a few stories of mythical arachnids. First of all, we got the story of Arachne from Greek mythology. In a nutshell, there was a young girl named Arachne who liked weaving things. And one day, she said she was a better weaver than Athena, and Athena got mad at her and challenged her to a weaving contest. Athena won, but then Arachne got so sad about that she killed herself. But Athena took pity on her and turned her into a spider in order to save her. Now, I know what you're thinking. But wait, I thought Athena lost and she was jealous, so she turned her into a spider. Let me explain. That version of the myth was written by the writer Ovid, who I previously mentioned in my Gorgon video. As a refresher, Ovid would often rewrite earlier myths to make the gods look as terrible as possible, especially Athena, who he seemed to have a special hatred for. So as such, any myth that he rewrote involving Athena tended to portray her as being a terrible person, just the worst person you could think of. And unfortunately, his versions of myths often ended up becoming the more famous ones, overshadowing the originals. So that's just great. Next up, we got the Japanese yokai Jorogumo, which are often depicted as young women with spider-like features. They are said to prey on young single men in order to eat them. But, well, of course, that's what prey means, but, what am I talking about? Finally, we got Anansi the Spider, a figure who is very popular in several West African folklores. Although whether or not he's a deity is kind of a hot topic, so, yeah. Anyway, Anansi grew famous due to the fact that he always won. No matter how hard the task or how tough his opponent was, he always won. It didn't matter if you were 50 times his size or twice as strong as him, he always won. And that was mostly due to how intelligent he was. He would always figure out a way to get past any obstacle or to beat any opponent just by using his brain. So yeah, he may have been a little spider, but he would not. So yeah, he may have been a little spider, but he was an unstoppable little spider. Interestingly enough, though, besides the Scorpion Men, I can't really find any other mythical scorpions. I don't know. There's just something about scorpions that never really captivated the human mind as much as spiders did. There are some scorpion-like elements to other monsters, like the Manticore has a scorpion tail, but its main body is a lion, so it doesn't really count. Now let's hear a word from Vincent. Go away, I'm healing. Thank you, Vincent. Now let's look at the card. Well, oh come on, why is it so cropped? If you don't like it, I won't show anything at all. Alright, fine, I'll review the cropped card. Sorry about this, everyone, but I'm having technical difficulties here. What did you say, punk? Nothing. Anyway, I don't have much to say about this card. It doesn't really make any errors, and it doesn't make any confusing design choices. So, 10 out of 10. Now, besides the toys I reviewed a few videos ago, they've never really been in pop culture. But I can hear you object. But there are plenty of scorpion men in pop culture. Well, here's the thing. There's no way to prove if they were inspired by the Mesopotamian myths. For all we know, they could just be a thing because the writers thought that bugmen were scary. There's no actual proof that any of those guys had any mythological equivalency in mind when they were being made. So yeah, I'm not really talking about any pop culture today. Well, that's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind. Join us next time when I try to not step on any eggshells. Bye! Oh look, a glove with colorful rocks in it. Oh yeah, that's so useful.